So this is my first in the definition series. So it's just going to be a series that's dedicated only to just pure science, definitions, facts for you guys to refer back to, and I'll have it all organized for you. So the first topic is going to be visceral fat. Now, there's two types of fat in the body. There's subcutaneous fat, or sub-Q fat for short, which is surface fat. So that's like belly fat, well, not really belly fat, but rolls on the side, arm fat, fat in the hips, and surface fat above the muscle. And then visceral fat is the second type of fat, which is below the muscle, which it hugs the organs. So it's more in the abdominal area. So it's going to be hugging your intestines and your stomach and, you know, liver. So this is the fat, this is the more dangerous fat. So the reason why it's more dangerous is that visceral fat leads to more risk of diseases. So it leads more to insulin resistance, it can lead to heart disease, it's a whole ripple effect. It can lead to type 2 diabetes, it can even lead to cancer. It's more metabolically active and it's more dangerous for you in general because it causes inflammation in the body, which we know is a scary word, which I'll get into later. So as far as where the fat is concentrated, so those who store fat in the upper arms, in the hips, in the sides, like these are, it's considered to be a pear shape. That's more subcutaneous fat. And then if it's more concentrated in just the gut, and basically the abdominal area, that's considered to be more visceral fat, which is the shape that you'd want less actually. You ever seen a guy that has like skinny arms and legs, and he's got that like hard pot belly that you could poke and it doesn't move? Like, he's got a lot of visceral fat. That's usually that kind of body type. How much visceral fat you have, or a good number to go by, is in men, if your waist is 40 or above, you definitely have too much visceral fat. That's like a crisis number. And women, it's mostly 35 inches and above is considered, yeah, you've got too much visceral fat. There are exceptions, like, you know, bodybuilders, people who have abnormal bodies, you know, a lot of muscle, like, there's kind of exceptions to the rule. That's just an easy thing for the average person to go by. The other thing you can do is get a digital scale. Like, the one I use is Renfo, no plug, it's just the one that I like. So they have scales that you step on, and then it gives you the numbers on the app. So like, it'll say visceral fat, and it'll give you a range of what's a healthy number, so you can keep track of that. So luckily though, visceral fat is actually the easier fat to burn. It's the sub-Q fat that kind of lingers around, which is why we get, like, you know, chichos and just arm flab hanging. That's all sub-Q fat. Visceral fat is actually usually the first to go and responds well to, you know, aerobic exercise, anything that gets your heart rate going. So you could do small things, it's your daily routine, to kind of increase just your metabolic activity, so that way you can burn more calories, get the visceral fat off. So just, you know, get off the train one stop early and just walk a little bit more. You know, just more walking, running, jogging, these kind of activities will usually be the best thing to target it. And then also resistance training. You must do resistance training, not just the cardio. That's the mistake I made. You got to do light resistance training, weights, you know, anything, squats. I'll get more into that later. Yeah, so in closing, that's just a quick definition for you guys to go by. You can go back to it later if you forget what that means. I just want to be a source of information for everybody. I'm going to post the full definitions of stuff here, more in depth. I'm going to give the quick definitions on my Instagram page, which there'll be a link to in the bio, of course. I'll do like one a week or something like that. You know, I'll try to keep it consistent, all right? Later.